a little different again, but if it's wet, it does leave. It doesn't fill it back in. If it's drier, it works ideal.
But you see, I don't see that as a problem.
So, but your conditioning in the spring would be a nice option to have, or make an ideal seed bed, because it does have, it isn't, you know, no matter what conditions are, you're going to have some roughness.
Right. I think the chunks and stuff, I think that's ideal. You got some side-to-side fracture. But what does concern me is that right there. That's why they call it a mole knife. Water, you put that smear at the bottom, like that, that's trawled off. Roots have a heck of a time trying to get through that. That's really bothers me.
Rather than just fracturing it with a
right
like you do.
And another thing, why they call that a mole knife, moles can literally run in there and run from one end of the farm to the other. That's a perfect example of just guys work years to learn how to trowel off cement that smooth. You know, I'm not, you know.
You gotta get the teeth wore down.
And then you'll get that water that starts to percolate down through this in the spring, the early snow melt and stuff, and that plow pan from the bottom of that shank will sit there. And it's literally molded in underneath of there, and water will get running in that track down the hill. Everybody, it's real common that people think that the zone washed out from the top down. They're absolutely wrong.
Start eroding from the bottom.
It erodes from the water as water gets going down the hill, picks up speed, a little bit of turbulence, a few chunks in there, burbling, bobbling around, takes and erodes this from the bottom down. In the spring it mellows out, falls into the trench, and the water's running and your zone is washed out. And another thing that concerns me with a mole knife, well, I'm blessed with rocks. So I'm constantly breaking shear pins and bending stuff. But the mole knife has a tendency, you'll end up with fertilizer in a ribbon down there.
Yep.
Right on that troweled off apron or runway. Now, if it doesn't erode out, you're in nice flat ground. If it doesn't erode out, it'll take and the stuff will cave down. You got a nice zone, your fertilizer's right there, and it can be so hot, so highly concentrated, when the early kern roots come into that, it can actually kind of burn them. It's so hot. See, and I like the idea of blending fertilizer throughout this whole area, and that if we fluff and condition this, we're not, you're an honest 5 to 6 inches deep here. So in the spring, we wouldn't want to fluff, and we would not want to fluff and condition in the spring deep enough to fracture and disturb that smear and kick that fertilizer and blend it around in the zone, so it's going to stay in that ribbon. And if we get on a slope where that zone, that little mole hole got water running in it, it'll take that P and K and carry it away.
Yeah, she's got a tunnel there.
But you do have pretty nice side-to-side fracture. I like how your trash, your residue managers aren't set deep enough to make a rut, or, you know, you're not woofing windrows to the side. That's nice. This is perfect. This ought to be fun tomorrow.
For the demonstration?
Just to have guys walk through and different things I think, and, you know.
That's a good comparison. That's what I wanted to see between the two. And
we could let the sun bake on it and stuff. Why don't you shut that off?